Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm Terry at Holding Your Space, and this is Diana Boyles, oil painter. And we are here to talk about universal laws and truths today.
Yep, we sure are. And today is the law of correspondence
Yeah, yeah.
and
And
how that all works together.
right? Yeah. And if anybody hears, I got called out last night. Annie Bear asked me, my stomach's been growling. So I am doing Noom right now, and I'm changing my eating habits, and I'm really watching how many greens I eat, and my stomach growls like crazy all day. So
Hey, my grandfather used to say, if you can't hold it in your hand, you can't hold it.
there you go. I like that. If you can't hold it in your hand, you can't hold it. That's beautiful. I love that. That's hilarious.
And you
Hilarious.
shouldn't.
And you shouldn't, because there are some things you don't want in your hand, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm just going to double check one thing real quick.
Sure.
Make sure that we are. Oh, yep, we're live. We're good. Okay. Um. Anyway, so I this has been really good. This law of correspondence for me because I think it also has a lot to do with what we're going through with the planets right now, don't you?
hmm And it's one we can see. It's one that we can actually see it acting. The
Yeah.
um, the divine law of oneness. Okay, so that's a little bit harder because mm, it's one.
Yeah.
So now you're in yourself, and now that's it. That's all. There's nothing else, right? Not
Yeah.
true. Everybody has that same little piece of you
Yeah.
because you have the same little piece of everything else in the universe
Yeah.
in you, from the speck of stardust to the DNA from your parents.
Yeah. I am you and you are me.
We are all together.
Yeah.
You can do for sure.
Can dance to that one. I love
Yeah.
that song.
Oh,
You
and I
know,
probably have.
yeah, everything they did was like so spiritual, right? The Beatles.
Everything, even the 1963 stuff, you could see where it was going. This is like,
Yeah.
this is better. And I'm not knocking Elvis. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
this is better than Elvis. This is better than Frank Sinatra. This is a movement like no other movement because it continued well beyond the frantic teenage years of having a crush on a musician or an actor, and that whole thing that goes with that.
Right? Yeah. It really did, didn't it? Yeah. They were
hmm
amazing.
hmm
Amazing. So, well, yeah, I love that we're doing it right now. And I love that you're here today, besides loving at you, but also with all the planets, everything that's going on with everybody. And we've been talking about protection and keeping yourself,
Oh,
um,
sorry.
keep, no, you're good. Keeping
I
your
was
vibration
trying to make
up.
it louder and I accidentally quieted it.
Hi, Carol. Welcome. It's good to see you. So, yeah, so we're talking about universal laws and truths today.
Right.
So, and the law of correspondence.
Right. And so when we think about retrograde planets, it's all the re's: regroup, replenish, reestablish, revamp, repaint, reread, do everything twice. And still, you may not be able to take action, right? And with all of these here being retrograde, and we had the same um, alignment last year where we had 7 planets retrograde at the same time. Now,
Yeah.
this year it isn't going to last quite as long because Venus stations to go direct on September 3rd and Mercury stations to go direct on September 6th. And there's that Tesla 369 because it's the 9th month, right? So even though they will station to go direct, when a planet stations, it's very powerful, whether it's going backwards or forward, but they hold space for a long time, just like Terry. So Venus is going to be standing still for 12 days before she makes a first move. And
Yeah.
she will still be going over the shadow territory. So this is not just once, twice, but a third time to look at the things that you've already covered twice. This third time, when they go back over that territory, you have a better idea of what it is you've experienced, what it is you don't want to experience a third time, because when it went backwards, it really lit it up again. Now, when it goes forward, you have the opportunity to make the change. And Mercury will be doing that same thing a couple of days later. Now, Venus is in Leo, and she's still going to be there for quite some time. And Mercury is in Virgo, but he will be going into Libra from there. And he will be catching up to Mars when Mars gets there.
Wow.
So, and did I leave my transit graphs from last night? Let me see. I did, thank goodness. Because now I'm not just relying on my memory. So we have, where's Mercury? There's Mercury. I mean, Mars is at 2 degrees of Libra, and Mercury is at 19 degrees of Virgo. And because Mercury moves so fast that once he gets out of that retrograde phase, he'll stay stationary for about 2 days. And then he starts moving because he's quick. It only takes him 88 days to go around the world, right?
Wow.
So he orbits every 88 days. So they're gonna catch up together. Now we're gonna have information and action in Libra. Balance, balance, balance. With the South Node in Libra showing us what to let go of, what to let go of. We're also going to have Jupiter in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus retrograde. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Uranus is a planet that controls a fixed sign of Aquarius, but he feels right at home in the fixed sign of Taurus. So Jupiter might want to, I want this candy. I got to have this candy. And Uranus is going to say, no, we're in Taurus, and Taurus is the house of checking your finances. Well, Venus is still going over that territory also in Leo, and she likes plush things. She is the ruler of Taurus. So she wants to stay in line with what the Taurus is saying. And she's all about watching our finances. Jupiter is in check because what he gives 1 month, he can take away the next. It's Jupiter, and he can take it away in a big way. And Uranus, well, that's the planet of detachment, blow it up and start all over again if we have to.
Yeah.
Preparedness, right? And wants to do it a certain way. So all of those are going to be working together to slow us down. It's a perfect time for oming your way through all of this, because we have emotional things like this Piscean moon. So Pisces, this is a good thing about Pisces moon right now. We're still in the early stages of going over these laws. And Valerie came up with an unscathingly brilliant idea.
Oh, I love it.
I do too. No one had ever looked at these 12 laws and applied the meaning of a sign to them. So she started doing that. Now, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I did help her collaborate at the end because she'd already started this. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? That's brilliant. So brilliant are you. So she came up with Pisces as the law of divine oneness, Well, Pisces is the most spiritual of all the signs.
Perfect. Yeah.
And can represent that divine oneness. And as we were saying a minute ago, it's not just our oneness, it's all the little dots of oneness that we have inside of us that belong to everybody else, because they have dots of our oneness as well.
Yeah.
People, things, furniture, the stars, the sky, the water, the earth, we're all connected. It's all connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Virgo is the sign that aligns with correspondence, because Virgo is the sign that analyzes to get to the heart of what's troubling you, what you need to, where do you need nurturing? How can I be of service? This is all correspondence. If you do this, if you eat too many greens, all at the same time before your body has made this big adjustment,
Yeah.
you're going to get a little gassy.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be extremely uncomfortable.
Oh my God. Okay, everybody, we're talking about this because I'm on Noom now, and I have been really watching how many greens and reds, and I mean, I'm just having fun with all the colors of food, and my stomach is growling so loud. Annie
Now,
heard
see,
it
I
last
have not
night.
heard it yet. So
Good.
even when you say you got called out, I did not even notice.
She did. She says, "Was that your stomach growling, Terry?" I just started laughing, but
It's the Leo in me.
yeah. Yeah, right. Oh, I had thought of that. I feel like, this is perfect timing for all this. You know,
It
that,
is. It really is.
yeah,
So if we look at the law of vibration, which we discussed last week, we would apply
yeah,
Gemini to that.
yeah,
I got to hurry up. Here's your information. I got to go. I got to go get some more, because this person needs to know that and needs to know where to look for, and and on and on. And that's, but the thing is Virgo is the higher, well, Virgo and Sagittarius both, but Virgo in particular is the higher form of Mercury, because Mercury controls Gemini and Mercury also controls Virgo. So in Virgo, he's more grounded. In
yeah,
Gemini, the quickest planet in our solar system has to move fast. He has no choice. He's so close to the sun, he's got to stay mobile or he's going to get burned. Liquid silver.
yeah. Wow.
So all of these retrograde planets are giving us this opportunity to slow down and weigh things out. We're at the, changing of the seasons. We're headed towards the equinox. That's when I would expect some big things to happen, some bigger changes than what we're seeing right now
Politically
worldwide.
and,
Politically,
also the
worldwide.
environment. Yeah,
About the environment, about, and what shifts here is now going to, what we've been experiencing is now going to go to the below, to the southern hemisphere. And now we have to pray for Australia and other nations that suffer these hurricanes and bonfires, if you will, and just the
yeah,
movement under the ground. Tree roots can burn underground and continue to burn underground for years.
yeah. I was shocked when I learned that. I had no idea.
Brings us back to connectedness, right?
Yeah,
And that
so
connectedness is
connected.
correspondence. And as the third law, remember we were talking about the geometric figure of a dot, the law of oneness.
Mhm.
Then we have polarity, right? When we went to the second one, we got the second dot and how we draw the line between the two. We have
Yeah,
duality and we also have polarity in that. Now we're at that third geometric figure, whether we are on the same plane or below or above, we still have a point at which A and B can meet at C to become the 3D, the third dimension.
Yeah. The Trinity.
The Trinity, the 369.
Yeah.
The how many cultures have based religions on 3?
Oh, yeah. So many. And the number 12, the number 18. I mean, there's so many.
Or
And
and the sacred number, right?
yeah, and
5, 13, and oh, now it just slipped my mind. I have it written down somewhere.
yeah.
The third one, it's in the Venus star code. It happens every 8 years. It takes 5 years for Venus. No, it's 8 years where Venus gets a new point in the sign that she's already been in. It's 5 years for something with the Earth, but from the sun's perspective, it's 5 years from the perspective of Earth. It's 1 year from the perspective of the sun, 5 years from the perspective of the Earth, and 13 years from the perspective of Venus as she goes around. So those are 3 sacred numbers that
Wow.
are involved in the Venus star code.
Yeah. Teresa Ford's here. Yes, and conifer tree roots can explode and reignite fires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, all that pine tar.
Interesting. Well, I feel like everybody kind of has this energy right now that if you haven't gotten rid of something, or if something else is turning around, like you said, we're going round and round and things are coming back and back, for us to revisit either old wounds or old constructs,
All
about
right.
I have to be here, or I have to have this, or they have that white, I don't know, I have that. And looking at that, and it's so perfect with this law of correspondence. Because it is really creating what we feel inside on the outside.
Right. As above, so below. As
Yeah.
within, so without.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what makes you feel lacking? How do you
Yeah.
talk to yourself? What language do you use on yourself? So if we change the language for the sake of vibration, we are now corresponding that language to your personal vibration, and how you can change the language to raise your vibration. So it's the patterns, it's how they repeat themselves, and if you don't like the pattern, what should you do? This goes on all throughout the universe, and we're beginning to see that that's exactly what it is. But there's a big paradigm shift coming in the universe. Pluto, the slowest planet, is getting ready to make his move into Uranus for the next cycle of 2,424 years.
Oh my goodness.
That's an era, right? And you can't
Yeah.
put a dividing line on it, because there's this do-si-do of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He's been in Aquarius, but now he went back to Capricorn. He's going October 10th, he's going direct. He'll still be in Capricorn, but he will be at 27 minutes and 27 degrees and 56 minutes. But he's going to stand there for a month before he's stationed. He's powerful in that spot. He's staying there. As he begins to move forward, he won't get into Aquarius until January. And then he's not going to get very far, because he's a slow moving planet.
Yeah.
So he's going to go retrograde again in September of 2024. I think it's September 3rd, something like that. There's that magic 3 again. And a 9.
Yeah.
8 year. anyways, then he's going to go back again, but this will just be a very brief stay. Because in January of 2025, he's in Aquarius for good. And any do-si-do.
What will that feel like? What kind of emotions or things will that vibrations will that feel like?
Remember when he just went in there a little bit ago, and all of a sudden we felt this communal, wait, what? And some of the people that have been fighting against us light workers are starting to give a listen. Right?
Yeah.
So moving into Aquarius is bringing it back to the community. You know, Aquarius is considered the humanitarian of the universe, but not because he's like, oh, poor baby. He's looking for the good of all. That's what it is to be a humanitarian. What's the best solution for the most involved? How does it benefit the majority of the people? And so that is what he's going to get into. Now, to get out of those, yes, it's like the ombre effect. Exactly.
I love that use of ombre, Teresa.
I know, because that's exactly like it is. It's like, where does a chakra end and a chakra begin? It's like, where do these laws end and the next one begin? Everything is a wash. Everything is a wash. And through watching these patterns that are going on in your own chart with the do-si-do that goes on up in the sky, you begin to see how that ombre effect works. And it's like, well, if you knit or crochet and you use those ombre skeins of yarn, you know there is no set pattern, but it's a pattern. You know, just the same.
Yeah. Everything's a pattern, isn't it? Sacred geometry.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like everybody's kind of going through a thing where if you haven't let go of something, the universe is telling you to let go of it soon because that energy is coming up and it's kind of static.
Yes. Yes. What is it that really what isn't working for you?
Yeah. You know, when we had Jason Topinski on last night, I love him.
And yes, I have to catch up on that show. Sorry.
No, it's okay. He's great. And we were talking about like we do a lot of abiding, like in our heart space and our solar plexus. And then today I thought we started doing abiding in our throat chakra, like what we tell ourselves, what we listen to.
Oh.
So perfect timing for this.
Yes.
And he was saying, you know, sometimes that energy is universal energy in your solar plexus to get you going. And it's not a bad thing. Like sometimes when we get the willies in our stomachs, right?
Right.
Your stomach's growling. It's actually kind of a good thing. It's that universal energy of change, creation.
Exactly. It's catching the wave. It's flowing with the go.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is where it's going, and doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything, because there's going to be things that certainly do still serve your purpose, but the stuff that doesn't, you know, like, okay, I keeping my WABX Air Ace t-shirt because it's the original one from the second kite-in that was in 1969, and WABX doesn't exist anymore, but Facebook has a great big huge page dedicated to it, and it's an important time in history. And I have one pair of bell bottoms, but I don't need all the other 75,000 things from the 1960s that I don't even look at. The ABX t-shirt stays in the drawer because I take it out and put it on, go, yep, that still fits, and I put it away.
Impressive. Wow. Yeah, Lori, January 2025 fits the timeline in the community. Say we will begin to have the energy balances for mankind. So many say we have to be patient. Nice to know
Yeah.
it goes with Pluto.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing,
Yep.
Lauren.
And
Mm.
about the same time, the nodes will be getting ready to make a shift out of Aries and Libra. And because they move backwards, their next sign that they're going into is Pisces. So that's going to help us redefine our sacredness because Pisces holds that sacred space.
Wow. Beautiful. It's nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Less power mongering in unified churches. Maybe the Catholic Church will open the vault and feed the world
Yeah.
and give us all those books that they've been hoarding.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
care that they have them. That's great because now we know where they are. But I want the info, man. Give me the info. I want the 411.
Yeah. Definitely want that. Yeah, my mom always talked about that, about the vaults, that they knew all this information about reincarnation and galactics and
They
you
have the
know.
finest astrologers.
Yeah.
Always have, always will. Because astrology wasn't outruled until they realized that everybody could begin to use astrology. And astrologers were hired only for, and this is at a time when nobody could see past Saturn, right? And we're
Mhm.
talking about the Magi visiting the baby Jesus. This was the norm. And they were kings because they had the wealth of kings because only kings could afford them.
Well, yeah, they were the kings, the prince of the
Mm-hmm.
church, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
were royalty.
Yes, they were. And you know, most most of the kings knew the astrology that their astrologers were talking to them because they understood the law of correspondence even in those days.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so I love how much this fits in with everything that's going on and the what people are talking about, you know, that they've been talking about for thousands of years coming about.
Yes.
The age
Yes.
of Aquarius. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, and even when Pluto makes that shift, it's going to take 150 years for him to really get past, 5.5 degrees, 6 3. Not true. He's going to be farther along than that. But um, when we divide up a house, we divide it into decans. So 0 through 9 is the first decan. And if you think of that as the age of reason and just getting old enough to begin testing the knowledge that the fire is hot, maybe I do want to stick my fingers in it and see. After all, my grandpa showed me that trick where he can pass his hand through the flame and not get burned. What if I hold it there? See, mom was right. Get your hand out of there. You're going to catch your shirt on fire, right?
Yeah.
That's where we begin to learn that. Well, then the second decan goes from 10 up until 19. And those are your teenage years and coming into being and hitting that 21. And, in that range of, okay, now I'm really ready to go out there and learn what it is to pay rent and be responsible for myself and hold a job, get a degree, do all those other things.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like dog age, when you get to that last decan, well, you can go on forever. But then you can also look at your progressive chart, which is this is the sun you were born under. This is the sun you will always be. But now you have reached a level of maturity that you're looking at things from the perspective of others, which brings us back to the law of correspondence. And you begin to see how we are all part of that one connectedness because you have watched it work in your own life.
Hmm. Beautiful. Yeah.
So, he's gonna need 30 years for sure to get his wheels spinning in there.
Does this tie into the yugas, the Vedic? What is that, like every 20,000 years or every I can't
Well,
remember.
Yeah, because that's an era, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. And I mean, if we really there was a time shift. Hello. There's been a couple of them where it was 4,000 years, and then it suddenly was 2,000 years BC and X amount of years into AD. Anno Domini. Well, now it's the Common Era. It's not. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And somewhere in there, they also shifted the time frame in the time of Arthur. Arthur lived during the 400s, 500s. Merlin was born in 443, I think is the date that I have. And that's when he was involved with Uther Pendragon and his brother, Aurelius, what was his last name?
Mm.
Ambrosius. Aurelius Ambrosius. And so when Uther died, Merlin went to be part of the Ambrosius family and work with him. And that's how Merlin got to have Ambrosius as his last name, because he was working with Uther's brother, who went by that name. And then somewhere in there, they added another 1,000 years. Now, I don't know where they got it from, if they took it out of the BC and stuck it in there, but the book that I have agreed with the most and understood the best was 2,500 years of the kings of Britain. And that really goes and gives you historic fact from Taliesin, the bard, who is still honored and revered to this day because of his historic abilities, and Josephus, the writer from the times of Christ. So that correlation in history is in books, and that's why I want the Vatican to let that door open.
Right. Yeah.
Give it to us, man. We got to know. We got to know.
I think I read that, and it was really amazing, all the Celtic magic and how the women were really a part of it, and then how all that changed when the
The North
of the church came about, and yeah, really brought their
and squelched
game
the
down.
divine feminine. And
Yeah.
the most sorrowful thing that was lost was the divine masculine went with it. Because
Yes.
what was understood prior to that was that we were equal. We are both divine masculine and divine feminine inside. Hey, correspondence,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that a man is the same way.
Mhm.
And women fought alongside of their husbands in battle because we had that equal ability. And the church didn't like it.
So, a lot of people talk about Merlin, that energy is back.
Yep, he's returned. He's
Yeah.
never left my side, but I understand. It's like he went into hermitage for a while here.
Yeah.
But he understands this. He is both Pluto, Mars, and Venus. He's all the planets rolled into one. If you put their powers together, that's how strong Merlin is.
Wow. Yeah. That's big. Big magic.
Right. And he knows how to change the vibration and let it work for itself. It's like when we're groping for what question to ask when we're pulling tarot cards. How do we phrase this question? What's the best way to frame it?
Mhm. There's, well, and they say that we've gone through a time shift now too, that we have sped up our time shift. We've sped up climate change, unfortunately, but we've also, uh, been speeding up the time frame of, like, when all this will happen. that 5D, that we're moving forward much faster than we had thought.
Exactly, because more people are waking up to their memory of their own past lives.
Yeah.
And having done this before, and waking up to the fact that time is not linear, it is an orb.
Yeah.
Remember last night, Allie was talking about how when you live in the East, the time goes this fast.
Yeah.
When you live in the West, it slows down. Well, everything's trying to absorb that sun energy. There's more trees, there's more people, there's more of everything
Yeah.
in the East. It's the first rays of the sun. It's Vulcan coming at us, waking us up. And now, as the Earth already senses that out there in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not daybreak out there yet, it's already sensed that the Earth is warming up in the ombre effect. Right, Miss Ford?
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all things are connected. There's no it's internal, external. The moon is the emotions. The Earth is the uh, environment. Yes, ma'am.
Cracks me up.
Yeah. So when we have these opportunities to reflect, my favorite word is refine. It's like we're living in a quincunx. A quincunx is a fifth. It's like listening to Robert Plant sing. Roger Daltrey sings that way too. Just a little bit off from everybody else, but it
Love
works.
it. Yeah. Who else is the Eurythmics? What's her name?
Yes, Annie Lennox.
Yeah, she's a little off
Yeah,
the beat, and
yeah.
it's
Pat
love
Benatar
it.
was good at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's that fine tuning. It works on this verse, but now we're in the chorus. You gotta no, it's gotta go that way.
Yeah.
That I bring the West versus the East. Oh, that it moves faster. Time seems to move faster in the East than it does when you're in the West, partially because this is all waking up. There's more trees, there's more people, it is the first rays of sun. It's like the planet Vulcan. The West knows it's out there, but it can't see it. Well, everybody knows Vulcan is up there, but it travels so close to the sun that nobody can find it, right? It's always in the shadow of the sun. So as this sunshine begins to warm up the day in the East, the ombre effect is taking hold because it's already warming up the central zone, and it's not finished with the East. And the central zone is warm, and it's already beginning to transfer to the desert lands where there's less water, more sand, more dirt, bigger rocks, gorges where water used to be. So it's that ombre effect, and things like are slowed down out there because they already knew it was coming.
I love
Some
that.
people get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and they're in the central zone.
Yeah. Yep. Ditto. That's me.
Yeah. Or in the East. So it's already, it's 5 here. You're still sleeping, but I'm up and moving, and I can sense when you're up and moving now because we've had so many close things in your meditations.
Yeah. Yeah. It is beautiful. I think as a tribe, we've kind of all, that circle of energy is just a lovely thing. You never feel alone, do you?
Never.
Yeah.
No, never. And and it's kind of hard because I'm a Gemini, so everywhere I go, there I am.
Which is perfect for this law of correspondence, because it's all about the mirror, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you
Mm-hmm.
feel inside is
Mm-hmm.
what you created outside. Like whatever we're going through, they say, look
Mm-hmm.
inside, because that's your past. Those are your constructs that have created it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and looking at it. Yeah. Jeff says, I feel like it's go, go, go. Yeah. In the East.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It is.
Definitely.
Well, their whole thing is, the stock market's already open.
Yeah.
So if they're the ones setting the pace, ding, 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 the bell on the floor may not have rung yet, but the bell in their heads has.
Yeah. Yeah. That energy is crazy too. That's exciting,
I
but
don't know how they
crazy.
do that. Give me a frantic guitar anytime. But
Right? It's so much easier.
yeah, I can
So
move my feet to that.
yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Um, so I got this, reflection by Wayne Dyer. "The state of your life is nothing more than the reflection of your state of mind."
Ah,
I just wanted to say that before I lost it
I
because
love that because I love Wayne. Don't we all love him?
yeah, he's
So,
amazing.
so how do we get through these things with correspondence? The first thing is the best thing to do is start journaling if you don't already do so.
Mhm.
Mindful journaling, art journaling, dream journaling, altered art. There's so many different ways in which to actually journal. You don't have to do it just with words,
Yeah.
you know? And so that always gives you a repertoire to reflect upon. Who else? Where did this come from? I'm not really feeling like this. What made me say that? What made me draw that? Where did this come from? Who sent this to me? Right?
Yeah. Um, and I feel like just abiding, like if we just take time every day to when somebody asks you, "Will you watch my dog?" or something like that, just taking a moment in your heart and in your solar plexus to think about it and think, "Do I wanna do that? Let me think about that." But, it does take just to be off that beat, like Robert Plant and, you know, um, oh, what's her Annie Lennox and whatnot.
Yes.
Just take a minute there.
Sure. Be prepared for the alterations you have to make in order to make it work,
Yeah, yeah,
to be of service.
yeah. Hi, Collie Healer. How are you, Kelly? Um, Teresa Ford says, "I'm so resistant to keeping thoughts on paper." Sure, a lot of people are. So, um, that's okay. You can think about it. Like I love Terry Suzuki when she reads, she sees a stage and her stuff comes up on a stage and I find that so interesting and so useful because if you pretend you're in a movie, then you are watching it with awareness. It does.
Teresa, do it right there with your camera.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
an image. An image is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, the other thing is being thankful for everything,
Yes.
and
Even if you haven't got it, when you stand in a place as if you already own it, it's already yours. You're
yeah,
just waiting for that time orb to, the time space continuum to merge, to correspond.
yeah, yeah. It's a ninja move, isn't it?
Hmm.
Gratitude.
Right? So
I
it starts
mean,
with observation, doesn't it?
yeah,
Analyzing.
completely. I mean, right? Mentioning abide, it's feeling like that I'm actually letting go and learning the skill of flowing better. That's beautiful, Lori. I
Yes.
love that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, it's the keeping part. Oh, Teresa Ford, I hear you. Because I printed out some stuff here and I'm like, I want to get one of those magic boards or whatever they're called and do everything on that.
And wipe
Because
it off when you're done.
yeah, so I can wipe it off because I don't want to use up all the paper. Um, but yeah, it is a ninja skill, gratitude and
Hmm.
being grateful for what you have, but not only that, what you will have.
Hmm.
And it does elevate everything, grace.
Right. And that's living in the knowing.
Yeah.
I know it will happen. Not sure when, but I know it will happen. I'm in the present. That's part of the 5D in the
Yeah.
knowing.
Yeah, that's instant manifestation.
Mhm.
Oh, that sounds like a problem. Manifestation. That can't be right. Sometimes we do a word and they're like, "Whoa, where'd that
Right.
come from?" But manifesting might be
Right?
better
And
than
so
manifestation. Maybe that's a thing, though.
well, then we also have to accept responsibility, because with that manifestation comes responsibility. You
Yeah.
have to you have to take care of it.
Mhm. Yeah.
You have to tend to it. You have to keep it in running order if it's a car or a refrigerator or your stove, the laundry. You got to do the laundry. Yeah.
Right. Oh, this is a great question, Sharon Foster. Knowing yourself and coming into your own and the law of oneness. How do they intermingle?
Let me go back to that page. Well, so if there's a little bit of everybody inside of us, knowing that about you, you know you're not alone, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think the more that you know yourself and you're in the flow and you're abiding in your heart space, the
Yeah.
more it just for me it's increased my clairvoyance exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then you really know what's going on the planet, and but you know it with awareness, which is a step up, because when you know it with awareness or see it on the stage or journal it or however you do that, to just do a little bit of separation there, that you can help people
Yeah.
and not absorb it as a construct that it's or in your ego, so that it's like that fear can come in.
And it's yogic. It's
Yeah.
yoga, because yoga is a Sanskrit word that means yoke.
Yeah.
So if breath is the yoke, and then you have movement on one side and you have mind on the other, breath is the yoking of mindful movement.
Yeah. Yeah. The 8 limbs of yoga. Yeah. Raja yoga. Oneness. So, yeah, when we're in alignment, magic happens, right, Kelly Hiller? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Oh, I love that, Teresa Ford. That is the T-shirt, my friend. So kind of. To know is to now. Oh my God. Totally. It's being present. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the magic right
Definitely.
there.
Yeah. It's practicing gratitude. It's like, it's positive, it's not negative. It's give thanks and it's already yours. And to know is to now. Definitely. I love that too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
write that down. I'm copying you.
Yeah. To know is to now. That is, yeah, that's a Yoda move. That's
Yeah,
having a ninja move,
Teresa,
Teresa.
there's your journaling. Sell t-shirts.
Yoda.
I love my
No
own.
is to now.
Searching. Found someone you have.
Yeah. Uh, oh, good. Observing and being aware is the oneness, right? Yes, 100%. Because
100%.
then you reach the field of awareness is also the field of infinite potential.
Mm-hmm.
So that you're on that level of watching things with awareness and being one. But also when you're there, it's infinite potential, so that it's really it's like that part. Some people say it's Saint Germain and Lady Nada, and that not the light, not the dark, or the negative or the positive, but the neutral, where
Yeah,
all things are possible, the space in between.
the space. Oh, and I woke up with that song in my head this morning. that one line from the song, The Space in Between. Who does that song? Is Hypnicity here?
Oh, Jeff says that's how he sees it too. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, you're just
Is that Blue
rewarding.
Oyster Cult that did that? I can't even remember.
I don't know who that is, Diana.
You don't know who Blue Oyster Cult is?
Oh, I know who Blue Oyster Cult is.
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
it many times. I didn't know you said that. Okay. Oh, that's who wrote that song. Okay. Yeah, I saw them. Man, I was too young
Yeah,
to be at concerts and watching them.
BOC, you betcha.
Yeah, they were a blast. They were a blast. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
They were kind of Merlin-esque too, if I remember right, weren't they? Yeah.
Oh, God, think about it. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, when he would jump on that organ and ride it across the stage. And oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Bum, bum. Oh, the music, all the music, all the
Mhm.
music. It never stops. It never goes away.
Yeah.
My
Vibration.
file just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It is all vibration, isn't it?
Yeah. And with that, we can visualize the person we want to be, no matter what song we're singing.
Yeah. Oh, Jethro Tull too. 100%.
Oh, Jethro.
Yes.
Aqualung.
Right?
I saw them live at the Grandy 3 times.
Yeah.
So Frank Zappa. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
The Mothers of Invention.
Yep.
I lived at the Grandy Ballroom, especially on Mondays, because no matter what, you got a Detroit band, anybody from Bob Seger to Ted Nugent, and whomever was in town on Saturday stayed over because they came in and you only had to pay $1.
Yep. Yep. We were at, we had a place called Cowtown Ballroom.
Oh, there you go.
And it had been a roller rink. So there were no chairs. Everybody sat on the floor, and thank God I was like so young.
The Grandy Ballroom had been a ballroom since my mother was a kid.
Oh my God.
And so it had, Benny Goodman and all the big bands had played there. Well, then it was a roller rink for a little while. Then they put it right back to being the Grandy Ballroom. And sadly, the fellow who was doing the most to try to save it just passed away. So I don't know what state of flux it's in. And then I went to grade school, and my 5th grade crush was a guy by the name of Vince Fournier. But he grew up to be known as Alice Cooper.
Get out of town.
No.
Are you kidding me?
We went to Our Lady Gate of Heaven together.
Oh,
hence the reason why we turned out the way we did.
Oh my gosh. Is everybody getting like a huge
And
I can see this. I can see this. Okay. And this is a hidden fact here. I love that.
Oh man, when he stayed here and went out west, and stayed here and went out west. And I think when he was in 8th or 9th grade, his family moved to Arizona. So he wasn't in the neighborhood any longer, but he still kept coming back to the neighborhood when he put the band together. These are all Detroit boys playing with him. And so, during the summer, we'd all go over to Ann Arbor, where University of Michigan is, and anybody who had been playing in Detroit would show up on Sunday over in Ann Arbor at the field, and there'd be a free concert. So he'd show up, Bob show up, Ted would show up, Iggy Pop would show up, all the Detroit boys, man.
That's amazing.
And even Motown would show up.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially Marvelous Marvin.
Lori lost her hearing for a week. Yeah. Bachman Turner Overdrive, Backstage. Totally lost my hearing.
Jimmy and the Doors. And
Nights in White Sands. Oh, yeah.
Jefferson Airplane. Cali.
Yeah. Too many. 15 years was Tom Petty. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a secret relationship with him. It was so secret, even he didn't know about it.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. He was something.
Yeah. And, I love me some Bob Dylan. There's no doubt about it. But how
Yeah.
in the heck has he managed to survive himself all of these years and Tom Petty ODs after years of not doing drugs?
Yeah.
They say it was his back pain. I hope it was an accident.
Yeah. Oh,
Like it usually is.
get out of town. Lori got to see Hendrix.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
Detroit.
honey. Really?
Total magic. Total magic.
Oh,
Cobo Hall.
man.
First time I saw him was at the Grandee Ballroom, and it was kind of like he snuck in and snuck out. He didn't stay very long. The next time was a big concert at Cobo Hall.
Oh, Collie. He visited her after he died. He walked through my dining room.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Collie. I am learning all these things about you guys.
So we all have the same hippie past.
We do, don't we? Yeah. Yeah.
We were quirky from the day we were born.
Right?
This
Yeah.
is the dawning of the age of
Of
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
And we're it. We're the
Well,
one writing the recipe book.
and it was all love and peace,
Yes.
right? And that's
Yeah.
really the vibration that is coming through now is
Right?
that is the number one vibration, love. And now we're talking about not the speed of light, but the speed of love.
Speed of love.
And that really propels us into that 5D.
The original Woodstock.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't get in. I couldn't get in.
Yeah, that's okay.
The freeway was a parking lot. From
Yeah.
this day forward, it's free drugs, free sex, and free rock and roll. You're all welcome to stay.
Did you camp out though and hang out outside
but
or?
it was raining. We turned around and came back.
Oh, smart. Yeah,
It was
all that
the best.
mud.
We were lucky to get out of there alive.
Yeah.
But, you could hear it when we first got there, far away. But then there's the MC5, man, Motor City 5.
Oh God, yeah.
Hells! I was there. When they recorded the
Wow.
album live, I was there both nights. So if you listen really close, you can hear me screaming.
Oh, all these new things we're finding out. Wow.
Our
Wow.
hidden pasts are how we are united to begin with.
Yeah, right? Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, music is incredible.
Yeah.
Um
Elton.
oh, Elton John.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to meet him quite a bit.
Did you?
Yeah, one of my old boyfriends worked for MCA or MCI, whatever records.
MCI.
And MCI, yeah. And he was Elton liked him because Billy was quirky, really quirky, this guy. And so he would he had to go to all the concerts, all the US concerts with him. So I got to tag along sometimes and got to meet him, and he wouldn't remember me for anything, but it was the thrill of my lifetime. Of course, I didn't say anything. I just smiled. Hi.
Did you see the special that Disney had with him?
Uh-uh.
It was his goodbye tour.
Oh.
And I don't know how he mustered up the energy to do the whole night and come back for an encore as well. But he did, and it was phenomenal. But you could see, yeah, we understand why you're hanging it up, bud.
Oh yeah.
His feet were pretty crippled. He couldn't hardly walk. So.
Oh, bless him. Yeah.
Yeah. Phil Collins. Oh, listen to us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I keep saying that I'm blessed that the energy of the hippies day has returned in my lifetime. First round, I got stoned and missed it. This time I'm tuned into what energy really means.
Yeah, that's an old good song too.
Yeah.
Us got stoned.
Yeah. We just, we are, aren't we? We're so connected. It's so funny. I love it.
Yeah.
So we're almost at time, and we haven't really talked that much about the law but we did.
We did because we just did it through correspondence with
Yeah.
all the music, and everybody here is relating.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what is your favorite song that corresponds with the law from that era? Or it doesn't have to, but
Oh,
the law of correspondence.
oh, oh my gosh. Tangled Up in Blue. Um,
Interesting.
I Am the Eggman.
Love that.
Oh my God. um, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Another one of my favorites.
Oh my God, I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
George must be here. Or John.
Mm.
John is, oh, John's here.
I'm
Okay,
thinking
guys,
Yellow Submarine too.
yeah, that was a Ringo song.
Yeah.
I got to see him the last time he was in Detroit.
Um,
Was the same night Kid Rock was doing a show, and the Olympia Stadium opened for the first night, or it's not Olympia now, whatever they call it these days. But Detroit had this great big renovation going on down there. But Ringo Starr and the All Stars were at a place called the Fox Theater, which is one of those ornate theaters from the 20s.
yeah.
Beautifully, beautifully kept. Never went to the skids. That place has always had music since the days of the movies. So,
Beautiful. They have a Fox Theater in St. Louis that is the same
aha,
in the 20s. Stunning.
stunning.
And people that don't tour will be there, like Diana Ross or somebody, or,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I looked her up the other day. Funny, you should bring her up. Was I talking to you? Who I was talking to somebody. What's she doing now? And she's going on tour in September. She's going to be in Canada. Then she's going to Wyoming. She's going to be by you, I think.
I'm
In
in.
October. She's on. There's a whole bunch of Canada out west stuff on the list.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. All right, everybody. Well, so glad that y'all were here. And oh, this is a great way to bring this up. I love that, Sharon. Music is the universal language that brings everyone joy.
Right? It's timeless.
Yeah.
I can't even think of a bad song because it's like Rotten Tomatoes. The movie was bad originally, but now it's a cult. Like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes original.
Oh, Lori's getting tears also. The music of the time. It's
Me
more
too.
meaning now, right? Yeah. Oh, we are stardust. We are golden.
And
Oh, Lord.
that one right there. God love David.
Oh my God, right? Amazing. All right. Well, everybody have a beautiful day. Thank you for being here.
Sorry,
And yeah.
I'm
And
crying.
we'll see you tomorrow at meditation, I hope.
Yes.
So lots of light, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste.